Cowboys blood. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh my God, the quarterback is toast. Hit it again. Hit it again.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Hit it again. Hit it again. Oh my God, the quarterback is toast. Hit it again.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to tonight's show. The Frisco Report. We're back, full effect. Mike, he's back in action with us tonight. We got a good show, jam-packed with all kinds of discussion tonight. My brother, Mike, how you doing, bro?
Doing good, brother. How are you, man? I'm ready to get this thing taken off. Talk about these 6-2 Dallas Cowboys. Everybody is hitting panic button right now, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'm really, Joe. I'm really trying to figure out why.
Why ask why? Drink Bud Dry. All right. Does anybody remember those commercials, or am I too old?
Probably too old. Probably too old.
Yeah, man. So yeah, you're right. Obviously, the trade window passed us. Cowboys didn't make the move. I mean, we did get Jonathan Hankins. You know, we got the triple bacon cheeseburger there. But we did get some news here. You know, obviously the kind of broke here with Tristan Hill. Mike, he got waived. They said, "Sayonara, bro. You're out of here." What is your thoughts on that? First off, Mike, and why was the move made in your opinion?
Yeah, with Tristan Hill, you know, he's coming off ACL and had some injuries, and you know, Cowboys traded away that first round pick, got Amari Cooper. We're like, oh, we drafted Amari Cooper, and then we drafted Tristan Hill. Well, our first two picks, quote unquote, in that draft is gone. Number one, number two. That's important, right? And so he just couldn't get it together, right? He just couldn't. I mean, you would see the flashes, but you never seen the consistency. In this defense under Dan Quinn, Michael Parsons is consistent. J-Ron Kearse is consistent. Quentin Bohanna, DeMarcus Lawrence. So many players are very consistent. Tristan Hill on this defense was the most inconsistent player, and he got the boot. And you have to make room for this team. And Tristan Hill, he was the weak man, but there is a chance he can clear waivers, and they might sign him back on practice squad, whatever. But that's for another day. But for this 53-man roster right now, going into week 9, Tristan Hill got cut, a veteran, a high draft pick, and something that did not work out for a Rod Marinelli project.
Yeah, it was. Great points across the board, Mike. I couldn't have said better, especially the Rod Marinelli part. Oh, let me write him a letter. Here's a letter. Okay. What? I'm sorry, man, but what did that letter do? It didn't do anything. It didn't really get him motivated. Nothing like this. And honestly, I thought this offseason he looked the best that he's looked, but it took too long. But yeah, you're right. There were times where he disappeared. But, I think that in general, the middle of this defense still has a lot of work to do. You know what I mean? I think it could have been, it could have been Gallimore. You know what I mean? He was inactive one week, has the bum arm. You know what I mean? So we're still not out the woods there at defensive tackle. Hopefully we address this, in the offseason. But right now we're going to go with what we have. You make a great point about the practice squad. If it clears waivers, they can put him there because, we're talking about maybe adding another rusher into the mix. Terrell Basham, I think, is going to get closer to being ready to go. So, I think they already got rid of the sacrificial lamb here. You know what I mean? With Tristan Hill. So great points across the board, Mike. Shout out to the chat box, man. It's great to see you guys out here in full effect. Can't do this without you guys. Love seeing the comments in the chat box. Love it, love it, love it. Keep it going, guys. Mike, the other thing that we want to get to here is obviously, like I said, We didn't make any moves here for wide receivers. Obviously, this was a big conversation, right, amongst Cowboys Nation. Is like, hey, are we going to make a move? DJ Moore was the hot name. Jerry Jeudy, Brandon Cooks, and these types of guys. Mike, in your opinion, why did the Cowboys not make a move here at wide receiver?
I'm glad they didn't make a move here at wide receiver, Joe. You talk like people. Let me say this. Tavon Austin was the last quote unquote deep threat that the Dallas Cowboys had under Dak Prescott, 2018, 2019, right? Was that fair to say that's the last deep threat was Tavon Austin? That's how many touchdowns he had under Kellen Moore and Dak Prescott at the helm of quarterback. 3 total touchdowns. Dak Prescott takes what the defense gives him quarterback. He's not one of those, all right, wide receiver, run a go out, I'm just going to throw it up. Dak Prescott isn't that guy. Brett Favre was the guy. Tony Romo was the guy. Aaron Rodgers is the guy. Dak Prescott's not that guy. He never has been, and he won't be. So to say that we need somebody to take the top off doesn't necessarily fit Dak Prescott's quarterback philosophy of take what the defense gave us. So I'm tired of hearing we need a wide receiver to take the top off. It's not that. This offense under Cooper Rush went 4-1. The Cowboys overall 6-2. That's with CeeDee Lamb. That's with Michael Gallup in 2 games. That's or is it 3 games? That's James Washington coming back. That's with Noah Brown, who Noah Brown can be a really good 3. James Washington can be a really good 4. Right? I even seen a trade. It's like Cowboy fans are so desperate. A scenario where like, how about we go get Cedric Wilson back? Like, stop, guys, stop. This team's 6-2. This isn't last year or in 2018 when we got Amari Cooper, where this offense looked totally lost, where this offense wasn't putting up points. This offense right now is putting up points. We just put up 49. Micah Parsons contributed to a touchdown, but they still put up 4 consecutive touchdown drives. Yes, it was against the Bears, but in order for you to get better, Joe, you have to have Dak Prescott trust what's on this team right now. The wide receiver thing, I thought it was stupid right off rip. I was told all offseason CeeDee Lamb's the number 1. He woke up, a quarter of the way in this year. Michael Gallup's coming back. Noah Brown proved why he shouldn't have been number 5 anyway. Give this offense a chance here, fellas. Let Dak Prescott do what Dak Prescott does, and that will be able to open up things like that. And then the dink and dunk that Dak Prescott is, he's not a deep threat guy. Dak, don't throw the ball deep. Quit with that crap. Quit with this wide receiver crap. People overreact. What we have on this team is we got, and it's working.
Yeah. Great points. Great points there, Mike. I will say this from my point of view. I think that it will be a big topic for the offseason. But I think, the front office, they feel good. Like you said, they're going to get back some players here, Noah Brown. But, yeah, Noah Brown's injury issues that we were concerned about throughout his whole career reared their ugly head. And so he's been banged up here, So, yeah, I definitely get the point there. Jalen Tolbert looks like, is another 8 games going to give us enough to be like, oh, here's the draft. We don't need to take another wide receiver. I don't think so. I don't think 8 games is going to show us enough unless he completely dominates. But Dak isn't giving him the ball. 0 targets. What's going on? Is he in Dak's doghouse? All right.
Who's this?
Whose doghouse is Jalen Tolbert in, bro? So something's going on there, bro. So for me, I think we'll look back at this wide receiver core and be like, hey, remember last year we had these guys? Like, I think it still needs a lot of attention, and but then they didn't do it. So the next question to segue off this, Mike, is, well, if you're not going to do it via trade, which I get it, I'm not surprised by the moves. Do you get Odell Beckham here? He's going to be ready mid-November, they're saying. Do you throw him a deal and add him into the mix and and get some more juice in this offense? Do you do that move, Mike?
right here. Charles in my comment section said the fact that the Cowboys attempted to acquire Cooks shows that they view wide receiver as a need. I don't think it's a need. I honestly don't. I don't think it's a need. Odell, if the $18 million is why they got rid of Amari Cooper, they're not going to get rid of Amari Cooper, give up a second round pick, and pick up 18. They didn't need it that bad, right? So there's the difference between the two. Odell Beckham being a free agent coming off an ACL injury, you could probably get Odell Beckham for $8 million, and probably 50% of that contract's all incentives, right? So they can set the boundary of how they want it. That's the difference between giving up draft equity and picking up a free agent like Odell Beckham. Two different scenarios, totally two different scenarios. So that's what I think. If there's a 1% chance, I said it on my Twitter, there's a 1% chance they could go get Odell Beckham. But if they did, the ball's in their court. He's coming off an ACL, $8 million, 50% incentives.
Yeah, I think you hit it right on the head. You can get Odell here for sure. I mean, these other teams, though, they're supposedly tight on the cap or already over the cap. They're in discussion. Like, the Rams might be in there. They're even saying maybe even the Giants, this and that. But if the Cowboys want to make one move, to kind of get them over the edge, I would be down for it myself. I would like to see Odell, just to see, even if it's a 1-year deal, you've got money here to give him. You can do some restructures and make it work, right? So it'll be interesting to see what they do. And for me, they probably, knowing the Cowboys, they probably won't do this deal. But from a fan base point of view, you would like to see them do this just to give you some more firepower, right? Because you're going to need it when the playoffs come. And I think we're all pretty confident the Cowboys are going to make the playoffs, right? I mean, we're looking pretty good. I think, with the Giants' loss, we have the tiebreaker there. We beat them head-to-head. So we just got to keep winning. I think the Eagles will trip up eventually. It's hard to go undefeated in the NFL here. And, maybe they're going to run out of steam. This is a real thing, right? Teams get hot at the wrong time, sometimes too early. Sometimes it never comes, right? So it's going to be interesting playoff season. I think some teams are starting to wake up. Seattle's starting to look good here with the running game coming back to life. 49ers, I think, we could end up seeing them again, right? So you got to have some firepower against some of these defenses. And for what the Cowboys have at the wide receiver core, it's going to be very challenging, very challenging. But Mike, do you feel that the Cowboys would use a draft pick in the top 3 rounds next year for a wide receiver?
Oh, yeah. I mean, whenever Mike McCarthy became the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, during the offseason Frisco report where you break down draft coverage, Joe said Mike McCarthy loves drafting wide receivers. His first pick, Joe, wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Oklahoma. Then you look at him drafting Jalen Tolbert, Simi Fehoko. He's been drafting wide receivers. How they panned out? No. They've CeeDee Lamb, yes, but the other 2 wide receivers, no. So you look at the first 3 picks, it's probably going to be a second, maybe a first-round pick. Just all depends on how free agency goes. But, yeah, absolutely. I see a wide receiver being, a priority, because do they pick up CeeDee Lamb's 5th option? Do they extend CeeDee Lamb? You have to look at the future of those scenarios. Michael Gallup's deal is only basically a 2-year deal, even though he's signed 4 years, it's 2 years. So you got to look at these scenarios, look at the projection. Brandon Cooks is old. He's been in the league since 2014. Can you bid around Brandon Cooks if you don't want to go with? So there's so many scenarios. Odell Beckham's just a one-time thing. There's just so many scenarios. But in order for the Cowboys' philosophy is draft and get better. And yes, Joe, first 3 picks will be a wide receiver next year's draft.
Yeah, you heard it here first, guys. I agree. First 3 rounds, it's going down, bro. We need another weapon here. Next, Mike, we're at the bye week where the defense, got pretty dinged up. Losing oil. The car, kind of studying across to the bye week. Now we get to recharge these guys. But Mike, Um, do you feel that the offense put a little bit too much pressure on the defense, and they're a little bit worn out right now? Like, how are you feeling as far as like having a balanced team right now? Are we balanced? Are we still heavy defense, and the offense is still kind of catching up? How do you feel about the team as we come out of the bye?
The offense has to establish time of possession. I don't know if there has been a game this year, and I have to go look, and maybe somebody go look for me too. I don't think there's been a game where the Cowboys offense has one time of possession. I think last week against the Bears, I think the defense on the field for a very long time. Like I think it was like 33, 34 minutes, something like that. So you have to dominate time of possession in order to keep your defense fresh. Because yes, they rotate guys, but when you're sitting there rotating and the offense goes 3 and out and 3 and out, I mean, they only punted once. It's just we got to get that running game set because that kept them on the field a long time too. The Bears being able to run it, Trey Lance running it, things of that nature. But the offense has to keep the ball longer to help the defense out. Seriously,
Mhm.
they have to. But the defensive hustle, if you turn on the tape, it's insane. It's insane how much this defense rallies and gives 100% every play, Joe. So they wear themselves out too. But the offense has to be able to help the defense in the time of possession stat.
Yeah, it really does. It really does. Otherwise, I feel like if we do the same deal, I mean, obviously we're winning. I love it, but the defense between the two squads, they took the brunt of this beating. I mean, beat up everywhere. And shout out to the guys, man. They played through some stuff. We saw Kursk
Didn't make
come in and out the
excuses.
lineup.
Yeah.
Donovan Wilson came in and out of the lineup. Uh, Parsons, I know he's dealing with all kinds of crap, a hamstring, a shoulder, everything. But man, that guy's tough as hell. I love Micah Parsons. Mike, um, let's talk about the season's winners and losers, right? Like as far as like our players' expectations, this sort of thing. Through about 8 weeks now, we've got a good look at the team here. Do you have in your mind, and also in the chat box, who are your top winners? Who has exceeded your expectations? Has anybody kind of let you down a little bit? Let me know, Mike. What's your thoughts on some of these players as we're about halfway through the season?
I could take the easy way out, and I can say Micah Parsons is the biggest winner. But I'm going to be honest with you, dude. DeMarcus Tank Lawrence is the biggest winner. He's been staying healthy. He took a major pay cut, helped his football team. And me in fifth quarter, we were talking the other day, and he goes, I don't know, man. I think DeMarcus Lawrence is the leader on this football team. I think he's the voice. Micah Parsons, he might be, but I really think it's Tank Lawrence. The motor on this guy. Down in, down out. I'm not surprised. I've always stuck up for Tank, right? Down in, down out, the motor, the pay cut, everything that's gone on in his career, him trimming down, losing weight. DeMarcus Tank Lawrence is the biggest winner of this season so far. My biggest loser, Joe, is the third round pick, Jalen Tolbert. Why can't this? I mean, they're using him as a decoy and running routes. You ask the question, whose dog shed is he in? He's in his own dog shed. He's in his own mind, Joe. I don't know if the lights are too big for him. I don't know. Where's Simi Fehoko? Is he even still on the football team? Where's that guy? I heard he was going to be top 2 wide receiver in the Dallas Cowboys, right? Where's this guy? Jalen Tolbert is the biggest loser for me.
Yeah, that's unfortunate as well. Guys, for me, one of the guys that has really impressed me the most, I think, has been the play of the rookie. You know what I mean? It's kind of an easy one, I guess you could say.
That's
But
right. Simi's on IR.
I do like how we basically threw Tyler Smith to the Wolves. We threw him into the Lions. Get in there! And he's mauling people. I mean, yeah, sure, he's gotten beat here and there. He's not a perfect prospect by any means, but man, we're good here. He's the left tackle. He's going to be the left tackle. and that's that. You know what I mean? Now the thing with the Cowboys will have to do is figure out what you do at left guard. Has Connor McGovern shown you guys enough to be like, hey, maybe he's worthy of an extension or a tag, or do you just go into the draft and get you a behemoth here? You know what I mean? Oh, Jason Peters, he's gonna go here. They're gonna put no man. That dude has been something else, bro. I love the way Tyler Smith has looked. He's exceeded my expectations. You know what I mean? Because at left tackle is not easy in this league. We all know that they're hard to find, man. A lot of them are bust. Cowboys just continue to draft really well in the first round, especially when it comes to old linemen. So he's been one of my biggest winners. Donovan Wilson, I think, is another big winner for me because, like we're always honest here, right, Mike? And my thing with Donovan Wilson has always been durability, right? And but this year he kind of like Lawrence has really dug in and been a huge impact on the defense. So I've been really impressed by Donovan Wilson, and then the way that Dan Quinn is using him. I think he's been incredible as well. So those two guys off the top of my head. Losers, I guess, is somebody that's kind of like not met my expectations. I think would be somebody kind of like a Kelvin Joseph. I think that's still a second round pick. You're just using him as a special teams ace, I guess. I mean, is that? Do you want to use a second round pick for a special teams? I don't. And he just can't get on the field. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I don't know about that pick there. Jalen Tolbert, like you mentioned, obviously, Mike, that's one that sticks out as well. So we'll see there, guys. Let us know in the chat box, guys, who are your season's winners and losers.
Can I give an honorable mention?
Yeah, Mike.
Leighton Vander Esch. His tackling over the last couple of years have gotten a lot better. When Leighton Vander Esch has a really good front four in front of him, he can play really well. You take Randy Gregory out, you take Lawrence out. Last year, Leighton Vander Esch looked like hot dog crap. You got that good front four. Leighton Vander Esch, I think he's only like 3.5% of a missed tackle out of all his tackles. Best year of his career when it comes to missed tackles. All right. Leighton Vander Esch, 55. I got to give you props, brother.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Stevie Mack says Terrence Steele. That's a good one, bro. I do like that one indeed. I think Terrence Steele, rumored to be getting a contract. Maybe he'll be one of these bi-week contract extensions, but I think Cowboys are going to keep him. They're not going to let him go. He's just playing too well, right? So that's a good one, Stevie Mack. Great one there. Asmodeus, my favorite username in all of YouTube, coming in with I agree with LVE. Yeah, man, I think he's really shut it out, man. So that was a good signing, man. 1 year deal to stay here, and then you're getting
didn't pick up that fifth-year option either.
Yeah,
you got him for cheaper.
Mm-hmm. TP Ruben Esparza. Yeah, TP, man.
Anthony Barr is a loser.
Anthony Barr is an interesting one. And yeah, I think I would kind of agree because it's he's right on the cusp for me, right? Because it's like, is he holding back some of our young guys getting in there? I kind of felt like maybe he kind of is as far as like Jabril the Steel. But Mike, we did get a peek at Damone Clark. Let's talk about Damone Clark here for a bit, Mike. Saw him out there, number 33, the great Tony Dorsett, number 33. Out there making plays, bro. He looks fast out there, Mike. What is your thoughts on, the small, brief action that we got out of Damone Clark? What's your thoughts on this?
He needs to get in football shape. That's a big son of a biscuit, dude. That guy's huge.
He's big.
Needs to get in some football shape. Get his good legs underneath him. But I think there's some promise there, right? You talk about Jabril Cox next year, third year, coming off this ACL. What's going on? Damone Clark, two LSU brothers playing on the same team with Penn State, Micah Parsons. Oh, Jesus Christ. I wouldn't pin the point. I wouldn't pin the tail on the donkey that Anthony Barr is holding up these young guys. He won the starting job. He won the starting job. All right. If a young guy wants the starting position, you got to go out there and earn the starting position. All right. He's on the cusp, but he's on the right side of winning. All right. He's on the right side of winning. I mean, he's a late free agent signing. One of those guys that came in, stuff like that. So, but he's won the job. But no, I like what I've seen from Damone Clark. I thought it was very promising, Joe. Very, very promising.
Yeah. I think it gets the juices flowing when you're talking about, hey, another potential, playmaking linebacker, and obviously, the Cowboys have done relatively well with linebackers. They've thrown a lot of picks at the position. If being quite honest, going all the way back to Jalen, LBE, Micah, Jabril. I mean, they're actually investing high into the position here. And I think next year is really when we're going to see some crazy linebacker play out of this group. But it's good to have these guys, these young pups, letting them come along. You know what I mean? And I think that's going to do them well in the long run. You know what I mean, Mike?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's great.
I like this one. I like this one. Yeah. This one's good, bro. NC's biggest Cowboys fan. How are we leaving Tyler Biadasz? He's been a beast this year, man. Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. NC's biggest Cowboys fan. Tyler Biadasz, man, has really kind of taken that step, right? We're talking about third year, right? Parcells and Landry always talked about you got to see it in year 3 or that's it. They're either going to do it or they're not. Biadasz right here in year 3, I think he's doing it. So I think you're right on there. Tyler Biadasz, man. Salute to him, Mike. I think he's done a really good job for us. Definitely way better than his first 2 seasons. Mike, what's your thought on that? Tyler Biadasz.
No, I think it's a great point. I mean, Cooper Rush, I think he didn't get sacked until the Eagles game, I think. And that's, a big compliment to the line. Dak Prescott comes in, unfortunately, one of the first drives he gets sacked. But I don't know. I think Tyler Biadasz, I think everybody, they mentioned Terrence Steele. I mean, Zach Martin's the goats of goats. Tyler Biadasz, Connor McGovern too. I'm going to be honest. Connor McGovern, too. I was really scared for that left side with McGovern. Yes, he got hurt with the ankle. He's been dealing with the ankle all year. But I got to give it to Connor McGovern. I got to give it to the whole offensive line, to be honest with you. Seriously. This was one of the weakest spots. You heard it all last year from the media. Oh, this offensive line ain't what it used to be. Oh, this offensive line, the Great Wall of Dallas is falling. They said, hold on. So I like everybody.
Yeah, it's a good one there. That's a great one. Great conversation there. Mike. So offensive line, I think they're coming along really good here, and they're just getting better and better as the season goes on. So you gotta like that, right?
Yeah.
And the McGovern, it's actually like last week. I felt like I was like, man, just leave him in there already. Like I'm already done with this. Oh, give Peters a couple snaps here. Just stick with McGovern already. This is stupid, right? So it's good to have Peters as a backup guy to me at this point. You know what I mean? I think it's good depth to have. But I'm with you. I think McGovern is a little overlooked at this point. Having his best season with the Cowboys, no doubt. Let's see what else we have in the chat box, guys. How's everybody doing tonight? How's everybody's Halloween? Or is everybody's stomachs recovered from all the overeating of the chocolate? Let me know in the chat box.
Chocolate.
Chat box in full effect. Chat box in full effect, bro. So, yeah, man, it's gonna be one of these bye weeks. Where we're talking, and do the Cowboys extend somebody? Mike, let's talk about who would be your number one extension, bye week extension, if you could do it. Give me one player. Who would it be? In chat box, give me a name as well. If you had one player that you want to lock up right now before he gets too expensive in the offseason, who is it? Let me know. Let me know what you think, Mike.
Tony Pollard.
Ooh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I gotta say, man, for me, the one player that I would extend as well, Tony Pollard, bro. Tony Pollard is number one, and then I think 1A Tony Pollard. I'm gonna cheat a little bit. 1A Tony Pollard, 1B Terrence Steele. Guys, let me know who you want. What you got, Mike? We
Brett
got some.
Maher. Oh, Brett Maher as a winner. I'm not gonna say I'm not saying nothing about Brett Maher. I ain't gonna jinx that dude for nothing.
I know, right? It's like just keep doing what you're doing, baby. Just keep doing what you're doing. April Shire says, Pollard. Hey, April, good to see you in the chat box. Appreciate you.
And to answer your question, April, yes, the Tristan Hill can sign to the practice squad if he clears waivers.
Mm-hmm. Primetime Phil in the house. He says Tony Pollard. NC's biggest Cowboys fan comes in with Jaron Curse. Is he on a 1 or 2 year deal, Mike? Do you know off the top of your head? I know.
I want to say he was on a 2 year. They extended him 2 years. I know
Yeah.
there's a contract hold up, and he took a 2 year deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think we might be good there, NC. So, but if not, obviously he definitely would be somebody to consider. If you want to get an early jump on a contract, Diggs, right? Kyle says Diggs, who him and CD in theory would be eligible after late December, right? So we'll talk about that there. Pollard and Steele. There's another one here. King Trill. I like that name there, bro. That's a great username, bro. I like it. Pollard and Steele. That's a good one. Ruben, extend TP now. Got another curse here. Yeah, man. Got a lot here for the big man of the day, right, man? So let's talk a little bit about Tony Pollard, Mike. Now, obviously, there's part of the fan base. It's like, okay, that's it. He needs to be the number one guy here. Let Zeke take the back seat. Let's keep rolling with TP. Do you see the Cowboys changing anything up as far as like how they use the running game here post bye week? Do you think it'll be kind of what we've been seeing all season, or do you think they make a little bit of a shift and maybe they do in fact give Tony Pollard some more touches? What do you think they're going to do here?
It was confirmed. J-Ron Cook's on 2 years.
Okay.
Man, I'm going to start off with this. If anybody is surprised of what Tony Pollard did against the Bears, have they watched any Cowboy football? We knew this is what Tony Pollard is. Like, I'm not sitting here going, woohoo, Tony Pollard, let's go, right? We know that's what he's capable of doing. Breakaway speed, able to break through tackles, yards after contact, the vision, the cuts. Like, this isn't something new. Like, Tony Pollard, like, you're acting like we won the lottery and by the letters of Tony Pollard, right? Like, that's not what it is. If you watch football, you know that's what Tony Pollard is. There's two different styles. You put Tony Pollard in against a blitzing defense, you're going to wish Zeke was still there because they're two different running backs. Tony Pollard ain't going to pass protect. And if he does, it ain't going to be for very long. He's going to get hurt or he's going to miss an assignment. It's just not going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
Zeke gives you that pass protection and it gives you 3rd-and-1 conversion. All right, period. That's just what he's going to do. Tony Pollard gives you the cuts, the lightning and the speed. Zeke is the thunder, right? We knew this. We've been talking about this. We're acting like we're so brand new to Tony Pollard. Stop. We're not brand new to Tony Pollard. This is who Tony Pollard is.
Yeah. No, that's a great point, man. It's going to be interesting. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just going to be the same. Really, like you said, you got Zeke. Has a big purpose in this team, right? And really serves the team really well. Pass protection. He gets a lot of the dirty yards, like you said, Mike. The TP is really not accustomed to. So It's gonna be a good one, man. We get Green Bay out of the bye, so that we'll be up there in the frozen tundra. It's probably gonna be cold up there, so it's gonna be a good game. Come off the bye week, but hopefully by then you do have a Zeke healed up here. You know what I mean? He's taken a couple shots to that bad knee already, so I think this is a perfect timing for him to heal up.
And I want to give big props to Zeke. Last year he hurt that knee. All he had to do was sit out a couple of weeks and his knee would have been better, but he kept playing on it, never got better. It didn't get better up until March, Joe. That's what Zeke said. It didn't start feeling good until the mini camps, the voluntary camps, right? Mm-hmm. All Zeke had to do was sit out 3 weeks. So for the coaching staff to park Zeke on his own, against his will, can't say enough.
Mm-hmm. I think this is a great question here. Mike, this is from April Shaw's. Do you think Zeke will give a D-Law contract to stay in Dallas next offseason, Mike?
I don't think so. D-Law, I mean, look at what Zeke did. He set out early in his contract, went to Cabo, held his team up to get paid. The mindset between Tank and Zeke, I think, are two different mindsets. I'm being honest. Two different mindsets. A running back's life expectancy is very short. A D-line's, look, Gerald McCoy played forever. You talk about Nakadama Sue. I mean, so many players have in that D-line position can play a long time. Running backs, it's an average of 7 years. Zeke is looking for all his money he can get. I highly doubt Zeke takes a pay cut. I'll be shocked if Zeke takes a pay cut.
Yeah, man. I think it would be a good story, right? And but I'm gonna take it the other way. I think when Zeke was going through this contract and this was still his young, immature, early part of his career. The St. Patrick's Day incident. The dealing with the BS suspension from Goodell and the goons. I think he finally. At some point, he kind of, matured up, man. The low-key faded years, those types of things, I think those are behind him. I think he knows what he needs to do. So I feel like maybe he is a little bit matured. He's older, obviously. Maybe he'll be in the thinking of Tank and be like, you know what, I want to stay here. I don't want to uproot myself and move or whatever the hell. So I'm gonna cross my fingers on that, and because I think he serves a good part for this team. But that's not stopping me from drafting a running back. You know what I mean? I do like Malik Davis. I think he looked really good. I think the Rico Dowdle project is done. He's too bad. Can't stay healthy. And you throw in another running back somewhere in the draft. So it's going to be interesting. Cowboys offseason is always extremely interesting and fun. That's why, we're here for you guys. Even in the offseason, we cover the draft. Mike and I will go through all the prospects. We talk about all this craziness in the offseason. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun indeed. Mike, I think that's all of our coverage for today. We will be back next week, obviously, to talk a little bit more about bye week news. Let's see what happens here for the bye week. Maybe we get a surprise news or something like this, an extension of some sort, and we can talk about that as well. We'll also cover the division and see where we sit before we go onward to Green Bay. But, Mike, let everybody know where they can find you if they haven't already, bro.
Yeah, Cowboys Corner right here on YouTube. _ Cowboys Corner on the Elon Musk platform. All right, you can follow me there. And that's about it, dude. That's about it. I'm not anywhere else.
Yeah, that's it. We are on the Elon Musk platform, like you said. That's hilarious, bro. Let's see what changes happen there. But yeah, man, great guys seeing you out here in the chat box, guys, talking it up here in the Cowboys, giving us some really good conversation and opinion as usual. We can't do so without you guys. Make sure you guys pound that like button on your way out, and let's get healthy for this playoff run, everybody.
They got to get healthy. Get healthy.
We'll see you guys later, guys. Peace.